What is up?
I patiently waited for you to say
it. Well, so what's up, Tim?
Corey, look at Corey Nichols finally joining us again. It's been a while.
Oh, he's number 2.
I thought he got too big time
always
for
be number
us
1
until he got famous, and then he stood screw the Ginger Bros. What's up, Bruce?
What's up, Mr. Master Metal Manipulator?
He is. Bruce is awesome.
He's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the intro sounded weird. It sounded like the music wasn't playing right, so now I got to go back.
It's always something.
I don't know what's up. It was weird sounding.
Just blame StreamYard. StreamYard's our problems for everything.
Yep, they want to jack the price of everything up, and then everything screws up. Kind of like
everything
service out there.
Yeah, I was about to say that's everything.
Yeah. Another thing, I went ahead and started the intro just because when you go back and listen to it on podcast, there's this long pause for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and then like I figured we'd just jump on. Then
people driving, checking their phone, make sure they got service, make sure the apps are working and everything. Like, what's going on?
It's all right. They can go back and listen to it. So, Anyway, how's your day?
Good. Did a big bedside smash. Got it covered up and done. Dude was super happy with it, and even he had some scuffs on it. I buffed off for him. I got a new dent trainer. I won a $500 gift card to Home Depot. So I bought that the small Milwaukee buffer. That thing's freaking. It's the bee's knees. Yeah, I got that in another pack out box, so because I need more of those in my life.
Yeah.
What up,
you got
Mo?
The 2 or 3 drawer.
I got the 2 drawer this time. I got some Kaiser foam cover for it that I'm going to do my R&I stuff. Have it all in there organized and crap. Because right now it's a hot mess. I made that. Hey, I stretched that $500 out though. I got all that stuff. I got a whole Milwaukee bit set with like every bit you could imagine, and I got some sockets. So just trying to make everything go good for the mobile life.
I've got the wall mounts for that you can lock the boxes into.
Yeah.
I've had them since I bought the pack out, and I haven't put them up. But I think I'll finally take my polishing cart or whatever I have that all that crap's on, and put it all up there on the wall and just keep it there. Because I mean, really, all I pick off of it's the little polisher and a little bit of polish. Then I have a whole other cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I got to get something to put my Power PDR box. And now I got that Woyo hot box that I bought from Corey Pope. I got to find something for just those alone because now they're piled up on my detail cart, and it's a hot mess right now. What up, Mr. Bernard? What up, Eric?
I saw where somebody had taken one of the boxes and put it on the bottom of the cart, and then ran the all the stuff out of that. I just would be worried about it getting hot inside the box.
Yeah, it would be a little
because it's got to be able to. They may have put a fan off the back.
Dude, people's getting insane with those pack outs. Like it's getting crazy. Amanda ain't here for us. She's here for the other Amanda.
I like her picture. It's almost like what you talking about, Willis.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we got a great guest tonight. Andy's known her for a while in the PDR group, PDR 20 group. I've just now joined in on that, so getting to know her. But anyway, can't wait to see her, meet her, everybody else down at MTE. So without any further ado, let's bring on Miss Amanda Christensen.
What up, girl?
How are you?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
It's been a nice day here. So.
It's been a peaceful day?
No.
Never.
That doesn't exist in my world.
No, I can only imagine.
Because we'll get into
you got animals and kids and business, and you got a lot on your plate.
I do.
Mr. Big said you and your family are awesome.
Hi. We like Bigs.
Oh, we do too.
We'll let him come
He's
back.
all right.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Brandon likes to flip him off.
I just like
his van did poop in our shop when he was here last, but that's all right. It was easy to clean up. I'm used to cleaning up poop, so I had to give him a hard time.
Biggs pooped in your shop?
No, Joanne did.
Like, dang, Biggs, like you were what the hell's really going on? See,
we knew you had issues, but I mean, come on.
My bad.
A colonoscopy bag or something. Shit.
Yeah, you can poop in our shop anytime. Just use the bathroom, okay, Biggs?
Can't go a day without picking up.
This has gotten off to a great start.
That's how we roll.
It's a ginger thing, right?
Oh, it really is.
It is.
He said the van did. Whatever, you got to tell yourself, buddy.
Our shop's on gravel, so when the road's a little wet, you're gonna have a little mud dropped wherever you park. So.
Right. My Amanda said hello, Amanda.
Hi. She's my favorite Amanda.
It's funny how many Dent guys are married to Amandas.
It really is. It's so many.
I know. Well,
both of us and several of our other friends.
So I've got our employee's name is Brandon, and been working with a Brandon with Tech One. So yeah,
we're awesome. Yeah.
I have 3 Brandons, and sometimes I'll have all 3 of you right in a row on my texts, and I'm like, what am I trying to text? I haven't messed it up yet. It'll happen, I'm sure.
Yeah, I could see it. That's like all these text groups I'm in. Like one of the guys will put something in the text group and it'll be the wrong one. He's like, "Oh God!" Like, and they try to delete it as fast as they can. I'm like, pay attention, fool.
I've been included on a few text groups, and I'm like, I don't think you meant me. So, sorry.
I almost sent one back to somebody the other day. I was replying to Andy, but somebody else popped up as soon as I was replying and almost went to them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Anyway,
you gotta be careful with some of our conversations.
I put my reading glasses on and check and see who I'm sending it to before I hit the send button.
Oh, I always double check. I don't want that on me.
Yeah.
And as many groups as we're in now, it's like I just put them all on silent.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Kevin Bird.
Every now and then, but
that's even
the 20 group I've had to put on silent.
Yeah, mine came back off of the work thing, and I had like 57 yesterday. I was like, holy crap.
we get fired up in the 20 group every once in a while. But I do notice if you don't respond to the first couple after they send notifications, it'll quieten itself. Like after so many, it quietens itself at least. So it ain't like text where you're getting every ding. That one group we're in, as soon as I got added to it, like with the Apple Watch, it was ding, 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 ding immediately. I was like, no, too much. Stop.
Speaking of Apple Watch, y'all check this out. So my son calls my wife last night. He's on the way to school to watch the basketball game. And he says his Apple Watch just freaked out and started going into crash mode, like detecting a crash, and was wanting to call 911. He's like, there was nothing. So he got it where it didn't do that. And it wasn't 5 seconds later, a car pulled out in front of him.
Oh my God.
He said, Apple Watch is trying to predict my future.
What's that movie where they do that? It's there's a few, I'm sure, but
Final Destination.
Yes.
Oh, that one's bad.
The second one's the wood truck, and I never ride.
Oh God! Every time I get behind one, I'm like,
Or steel pipes.
Yeah, I seen that movie. I'm out.
I'm staying right here.
Right.
The guy, like me, working out. The guy,
smashed his head. Gone.
I'm like, yep. I'm not having one of them machines in here. But anyway, we kind of got off subject here.
That's how we roll.
It happens.
So what we'll start out with is what I was telling you earlier. Let's kind of give everybody a quick synopsis of how you got started in this lovely world we called PDR. Okay,
so it was kind of the automotive industry I've been in for a while in a roundabout, circuitous way, but in the early 90s, I moved to Germany and I moved there to ride horses and ended up exporting American cars to Germany. So
wow.
it was, whatever.
From
So
riding horses to exporting horsepower. So
that's right. So I hauled a lot of trailers. So because we're in Iowa and there's no shipping ports in Iowa, so you got to take them to a coast, one or the other. So
yeah.
So I did that for I don't know, a year or two. Got out of that. Then was pretty heavy into the horse thing for a while, and then ended up when I met my husband, I had just quit my job at the bank, or I guess I quit my job after we met, but I was done with banking. I was like, corporate world sucks. I don't want anything to do with it. So I was, we were working construction together because he had just closed his shop, his PDR shop. And and ironically, I had the first PDR done on a vehicle when I lived in Germany and got hailed on. So
Really?
First exposure to PDR. So I'm like, oh, I know what that is. So
looks easy.
It looks easy. But
Germans just popped it out.
Yeah, they just popped it out like dry ice, right? So he was like, hey, I got this body shop. He was kind of doing stuff on the side, and we were doing construction, and he's like, hey, I got this body shop and they really need somebody to be an estimator and work up front. And I'm like, okay, let's go talk to him. And went and talked to him, and he's like, can you start tomorrow? I'm like, all right. So I started. I think I got 2 days of training. They were using Mitchell at the time, and I got 2 days of training on Mitchell. And the gal was like, I think you got it. See ya. And she moved to Florida. I was like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I thought there were front fenders and back fenders. So, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't that versed in the lingo and all. So I worked at the body shop as an estimator, collision mostly, for about 5 years. And when we had our second child, I realized I was only making about $400 a month after daycare, and it wasn't really worth it. Yeah. So Ron talked me into, he's like, you should stay home. And I think he had something in the back of his head, because he's like, you should stay home and raise the kids. You're stressing yourself out working at the body shop. I was there like 50 hours a week trying to get everything done, and, never taking a lunch, just
it's not easy. I was about to say, it's not an easy 50 hours either. That's a grind.
It was grinding. And so I'm like, sure, I'll stay home. And then there was that whole, what am I going to do with all my time? I got everything clean now. Now what do I do? And so there was a little limbo there. And then he decided he didn't want to keep working where he was working, and he wanted to start doing PDR again. And so he was like, I think I'm going to quit my job and start my own PDR business again. And I'm like, I just quit my job months ago. I was like, oh my God, what are we doing? We just dove right in and started the business. And I think, as a lot of PDR wives do, you end up being the businessman, and he's the technician. And hi, Ryan.
Man, I can attest to that. That's kind of how it's read here too.
It is, yeah. I mean, it happens a lot. And so, I already had the estimating experience. I had the insurance, dealing with the insurance experience. So it was kind of a natural fit. I learned a lot about the bookkeeping side of it. Took some classes trying to figure out the best way to do it. My sister started a business, and she's like, hey, can you help me with my books? And so I'm like, okay, I'll do my best. I'm still kind of winging it, but somewhere in there, I did get a business degree. So I do have some qualifications to do this, but and now I actually
more than us.
Thing. So
I don't blame her, James. I wouldn't work with you either. I love James.
But so I ended up kind of being the do everything but fix the dents person.
Well, it's obviously worked out. You guys are very successful, and your knowledge, you can tell the knowledge you've gained from, your years of experience in body shop and everything else. It's been huge for the 20 group. And
yeah,
I mean, and you're always one of them quick on 20 group that's there to help. You got your, you get your information. I'm like, hell yeah, we got this.
The smart one in the group.
Yeah.
When I was getting my business degree, we were in one cohort for 2 years, and we were broken up into study groups, and I was in a study group that got dubbed by the rest of the class the overachievers. We had another group that we dubbed the underachievers. So I was just glad not to be in that group.
Right. It's like, that's what I'm here for, to achieve and get the hell out.
Is it a ginger thing? Are we just super competitive? Are you guys competitive?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, I think
my
so.
daughters are the same way.
Yeah,
it varies. There's some things I gotta care about. There's things I don't give a shit about. I'm not like, you can win. Obviously the tag team dental Olympics is one of those. Brandon got to find out last year. But yeah,
roles are reversed. Yeah. He better. He's gonna have to push on a dent because my shoulder.
Oh, you got me twisted. I was talking to Jeff McMahon and Tad Jablonski, totally off subject today in a group text, and Tad was talking about fixing a big one or whatever. Jeff's like, you better save your shoulder. We got dents to fix. I was like, oh, y'all fix dents?
Yeah, that's one thing working in a body shop and in this industry. I will surprise some people when I let loose a little bit. Everybody thinks I'm nice and sweet and professional, and then I start dropping the F-bombs. They're like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah. And my husband's like, yeah, she's maybe worse than I am. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Big said you're awesome picking out tools and buying on the
van. Yeah. It's fun to go in the van. It's like a candy store on wheels.
So. It absolutely is. I love it. My wallet hates it.
That's why you got to be careful.
Yeah, Bonnie or Biggs or one of them message, be like, hey, we're coming through. I'm like, shit, please don't. I'm broke.
You're like,
I'm like, can I just see you and give you a hug or something? Like,
I know. You're like,
just stop by and say, hey, that's all you got to do. Just stop by and say, hey.
Obligated.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Play it, Biggs. Play it. Dog treats.
Yeah. I do think when we was talking about, the women kind of step in the role of running the business. I think you guys are just better at, like, especially insurance adjusters. I'll sit Amanda loose on one, like, hey, you done dealing with me now. It's time for the boss to step in. And she does get, I don't know, she gets shit done a lot quicker and more efficient than I do when it comes to all that. So I think it's just a woman's knack to, like, dive right into that and make the shit get handled and roll on. So.
Was it you, Brandon? I said I'm politely persistent. Or a polite pest or something like that. Because I'm like, I'll just.
It's like yesterday, dealing with this customer yesterday and stuff, and I'm replying back. Mandy's like, you basically telling me you gotta stop and read what you're saying before you email them back.
You ain't learned that lesson yet.
You're just gonna have to deal with it then, because I'll snap just like that. Yeah, I'll tell them to burn their ass up in a car.
Yeah, you will.
Send your snap.
Yeah, but especially when as soon as I snap, I get ticked, and then that's all I can think of, and then I can't. Even though I was fine after that. Like I like today, I was reading Mandy my email. I'm like, okay, I'm replying back. Does this sound good? She's like, yes, that's fine. I'm like, okay, send.
Well, that's like,
had an adjuster last year, and he was saying they don't pay double oversized dents. I'm like, well, send me a copy of your matrix. So he does. And so I send it back highlighted where it says double oversized dents, $80. And I'm like, according to your matrix, you do. And it even gave the measurements. And he's like, well, I'm not sure what the measurements are on those. And I'm like, I can help you with that. And about 2 hours later, after circling 24 dents, taking a picture with the circled dent and the line board behind it, then taking a picture with the magnetic measuring strip on it, And I numbered each and every dent, so he knew they were all different. And he got like, what's 24 times 3? And pretty close to 75 pictures.
Yeah.
I'm like, here you go.
Yeah, you want to play the game? Let's do it. I got you, boo boo.
Go for it, buddy.
That's like Amanda the other day. I don't have a family, doctor or whatever, and I was trying to get one, and nobody's really taking appointments around here. And I asked a couple questions. They no. So I got off on Amanda's like, you take no too easy. So she called him up and was trying to get one. She gets along further than I do with that stuff because I will. They say no. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll holler at you.
I'll give you one chance, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give him one chance, and then I'm unleashed. So
yeah.
It's a woman thing.
It is. It really is.
I just think it's that, or it's a ginger thing. I really feel like as a redhead that our tempers are very, very short.
Oh yes.
And
I don't know. I've got a really long fuse. I'll put up with a lot of shit, and then I'm like, okay.
That's me. I can sit there and let it fester, and then it's like, I feel bad for the sumbitch when this sumbitch goes off because it's gonna be bad.
That's my kids.
Yeah, you're getting everybody's problems in this one shot. Hold on.
Yep.
I can't say that mine's like that big, but I think that's being raised by a short German who had no fuse.
Yeah.
So I just think I adopted that mentality. I don't know, but
Man, said she had a therapeutic scream fest with a dent warranty company yesterday. Yeah, she did. We've been trying to get paid from a dent warranty since October, and she's been doing, keeping calm and stuff. She's like, oh, it's on now. I get somebody I get to yell at. Like, let's go.
I'll have to get with you, Amanda, because I've got one. They're like, oh yeah, I'll send the payment right out, and that was beginning of December.
We're not doing any more of them. I decided that was the last straw on that. You don't get paid enough for them, and you freaking they already don't want to pay you enough, and then they're going to screw you around on the money. Like, no, I'm good.
Right. He's like, well, we have a maximum of $600 for the vehicle. I'm like, well, that's bullshit. I said something. He was talking to me, and I'm like, well, obviously, whoever developed this program does not understand PDR.
Yeah. Bruce, that was a Dent Zone is who we had the issue with. And I only took it in. It was $75 a dent or whatever. And that thing was, it was like a serious 1 or 2 pusher. I'm like, okay, I could do that for this if we get paid. Still haven't. So no more.
So the last one I did, even though I knew it was going to come back at me, the customer swore up down, talked to them, left here, talked to them again. Oh, they said they'd pay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, come on. I fixed the dent. I called them. It took an hour and a half with him standing right here in front of me, and I won't relinquish the key.
Yeah, you ain't gonna pay.
And they only pay. The customer still had to pay like $600 something of it.
Yeah.
I had a
He's like, I'll fight them and get it. Good luck, buddy.
I had a permaplate
like customers like that though.
Yeah. I had a permaplate claim. It was the one where the goat beat the shit out of the bottom of the door. It had like over 60 dents, and I was trying to work with them. I'm like, look, I'll put it as a hail matrix, so it's cheaper on you guys instead of paying your whatever per dent. And they still wouldn't go for it. Luckily, she Farm Bureau insurance had a low deductible. I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll eat your deductible on this one because your dent company's screwing you over. So she was happy. Dents got fixed. I made what I was supposed to. Made more than I would have with the damn dent company, or the warranty company. So I agree, John. They are a joke.
I just avoid them. I have one that I can't remember who it is, but they email me like every month. We're looking for companies in your area. I'm like,
but you are.
Yeah, and keep looking. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I had one email me the other day, and it was like, need somebody in your area. Can you fix it? Gave me the claim number, all this kind of stuff. I said, you got to.
That's how they start.
No, we don't. Sorry. Because I know it.
Yeah.
It's about the size of a quarter is what she said. Well, I don't know what they said. I'm like, yeah, that's probably 4 inches long and
yeah.
Yeah. That was our help. I think I'm gonna make some social media content about that, about dent warranty companies. Be like, hey, beware. You're gonna get screwed in the long run. So
read the fine print on those things.
I'm trying to find some funny sounds on TikTok to use, like some smart ass shit with it, of course.
Well, what you can do is create it like a commercial, like one of these jump zones, like a trampoline park, but dent zone, and do all this. They'll screw you over and all this kind of. They won't pay you, you know.
Yeah,
you can do some fun stuff with it.
They pissed me off bad enough.
Sure.
I'm ready to make a little campaign about the shit. So, let's go.
Andy, you need to do something where you're tapping down and do the Woody the Woodpecker sound in the background.
Yeah.
And when you're done, go like,
yeah.
Please laugh.
I'll let Amanda come up with all the content. I'm just most times pretty face, unless she's on there, then she's the pretty face and the content creator.
Y'all are coming up with some good stuff lately.
She's coming up with some good stuff. I'm just like, okay.
That's what I meant. I was just trying to.
Yeah, you ain't got to be nice. I know what's up. Yeah, you ain't got to sugarcoat it, Brandon. We all know that the brains of this operation is.
All I know is all your arm hair is gone. Got to be all the fire y'all been playing with.
Hey, that fire was awesome. I want to do that shit with that. That was cool as shit. I did singe a little hair right here. I ain't gonna lie.
So that was real fire.
Yeah. So
I just thought it was.
You can take water and put dish soap in it and stir it without making bubbles. And then you take butane and put it in the bottle, and it makes the bubbles, or in the bowl. And you use them bubbles, you put it on stuff and light it on fire, and it burns the bubbles off, and it don't burn you or whatever's around it. I was more scared to do the hood of my square body truck than I was on my hand. I was like, my hand, I don't give a shit about it. No. Like, I was scared I was going to burn the paint on my truck, and it didn't do it, so we're good.
I'd probably catch on fire, literally, and it wouldn't work with me.
Well, at least you wouldn't have to worry about singeing your head hair or nothing. You'd be good. Yeah. We are a team. Like I said, I'm the dumb dent guy of the team. You handle the rest.
Yep.
So anyway, we got off topic as usual.
Imagine that.
So that's how we do.
You and Ron, man, it's talking about us being a team. You guys make a good team, and you're handling the front end. Y'all have had a crazy year last year. With how many storms did you guys end up with?
We started in March, beginning of March. We had a big one with a tornado. It was really destructive, so we made the decision not to advertise. We still got a lot of business from that one. Mm-hmm. Then we got hit in June with a tiny little storm right over 2 dealerships. We do the recon for CarMax, and they have to call in Dent Wizard, or at least they think they do. I don't know what the deal is, and I don't really care.
That's been a national agreement, ain't it?
I've heard it is. I've heard that it's not. I've heard it's old, and CarMax still thinks it's viable, and Dent Wizard just lets them think that. So I can't imagine that. So, but it was funny because the guys they kept going to the back lot for the recon lot and putting their little stickers on them, and our employee just go out there and pick them off. He's like, yeah. I got a work order for this one. So, and I was like, hey, you guys need to make sure that they're not double billing you, not billing you on these, that they put their stickers on. So he was like, okay, I got a plan for that. He just put their sticker on his work order. So he's like, just check it, check it and make sure they're not billing you on this one too. So, and then another lot across the street got hit, and so they called us all in a panic, and Ron was out of town, and he had just left. The storm was so small that it didn't show up on any indicators. Nobody came chasing, and we're like,
perfect storm.
Yeah. But except he left town that morning because he had no way to get hailed anywhere. And so I think I got the call. It's like, hey, we got hail on the cars. And then our employee calls and he's like, they got hail on the cars here. I'm looking at cars that I fixed yesterday and they have hail on them. I'm like, oh shit. Like, what am I going to do? And he's like, should I just turn around? And he was helping a friend get his business set up in South Dakota. And so they were going to go visit body shops and do the whole thing, just really get him a nice solid start. And I'm like, no, you're practically there. Stay and I'll handle it. And I just got cleaned up, went into the body shop, and started looking at cars. I threw a hail light in the back of a work van and a step ladder. I threw 2 hail lights in the back of a van and a step ladder. And I think I called Ryan Hampton and I'm like, I need help. And he's like, well, tell you what, here's who you need to call. And he had me call Tech One, Shane Jacks, Max Anderson, and Brandon Birch. And Brandon and I spent a lot of time together on the phone. It was months before we actually met each other in person. I never did ask him if I looked like he expected me to. But, so yeah, it was awesome. They came in and helped. I mean, it was like, okay, we're hitting the road, they're on a storm. So they're like, who can we pull? Who's going to stay and manage what? And so Max came out, and so I think the second or third day he started.
I don't know if that's Shane or one of them or whatnot. That's what I'm trying to
one of them.
Put your name behind the comments so we know.
But we just started, I think I did almost, I don't remember how many it was, like around almost 50 cars that first day. They just had them lined up through one of their service lanes inside. And I had, it's the
perfect.
the Shane Jack.
What up, Josh?
But I set up one light low and one light high, and just went around the cars, and Brandon's on the phone, on the computer, on the other end of the line. And I think he was in, where was he? It was hot wherever he was because his air conditioning went out. But he was typing it into the computer and doing these estimates. So I'm just like, I think there's around, I think there's 16 to 30 on this hood. It's aluminum. It's got this, it's got the clear bra on it, so we were doing all this really fast and getting guys to run the cars in and out. Yes, you're so pompous.
We love Shane.
But yeah, we got a lot of cars in and out. And then Max came and he did, we kind of tag teamed it, and he did a bunch. And then I sat down with the management team and was like, listen, this is not effective. That you're wanting cars fixed, and we're going to have 5 more days of just looking at cars. If you want cars fixed, we're going to do this. And they were like, okay. I was like, and I think we were talking about that earlier. I was so nervous for that negotiation. And I just went in and said, this is how we're doing it. And I never could have done that without Max and Brandon, revving me up before I went into the meeting.
It's awesome to have people like that in your corner, getting you revved up and stuff. That's great.
Yep. So, and they have experience, so
absolutely.
It made me look like I had experience negotiating. So
that's what I love. I always sing John Yeager's praises if we get a hailstorm, because he's had that experience. He knows what he's doing. I can just sit back and rely on him to handle that side of it. Yep. And I can just be the dumb dent guy yet again. That's what I get to be all the time, apparently.
Yeah. Then we got our big dinger came in August, or I don't know. All the months are running together now.
I can imagine.
August 19th, I think, was when our big one hit. And the body shop for that same dealership, he starts sending text. He's like, holy shit, look at this. And I mean, these cars are just beat. I mean, glass broken. They had one come in where the gal drove it in and the panoramic had blown out. Brand new car. Is like a, I don't know, a Lexus or something. Panoramic had blown out. And so it had rained so hard after that when she stopped the car, several gallons of water came out of the dash. So her dash was not at all. It blew all the electronics. And I'm like, just send that one straight to insurance. We're not dealing with that one. That is
total
loss.
Yeah, she gone.
It was some real quick learning on how to triage on a storm like that, because that was crazy. So it's like ones that we know are total losses, then trying to get people to scheduled to come in for estimates because they're a DRP for a few insurance companies. And, so we're trying to figure out who's doing the estimates. And we learned a lot in this storm.
I can imagine.
Shane alluded to a lot of that in his live he just did. And
I was about to mention that. Y'all go back, Shane Jack's personal Facebook page. He went live before our show talking about his 2017 hailstorm. Go check that out. There's a lot of valuable information. I might have to go back and rewatch it because we had to hop on.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he was putting out some great information when I was on. So make sure to check that out.
I was laughing because I was like, oh, I did the same thing. And not sure that was the best decision, but at the time, that's what I had to do. So,
right.
When I'm the only,
well, you learn
retail as well as that. So, trying to field calls, trying to find a place to do all the work because the dealership didn't have room, trying to get their sold units done. I mean, and then there were so many bad insurance estimates, and anybody that's worked hail knows that especially a storm where it's big enough that it breaks paint, they miss so much stuff and way underestimate rails and quarters because they go off matrix. So I mean, I had a guy stop by when I was at the dealership, and the manager's like, hey, come look at this, and I'm like, yeah, it needs a supplement. And so when the guys got here, Brandon Birch came in and was doing the estimating, and we're like, yeah, we're going to have to scope all these cars that already have claims or already have estimates because they were so bad.
Yeah.
It's when you get that 1-page estimate on a storm like that you're like, yeah, that's going to need a supplement.
That's usually especially the cat teams and shit, like the cat team. They know they're going to get the hell out of there, so they're just trying to screw everybody they can and roll out.
Yeah. Basically. I feel bad whoever handles their supplements back in the main office because
they get mad at us. It's like, don't get mad at you, asshole that works with you. You're going to cat.
Train them how to estimate hail, damn it.
Yeah. We had some during our big hailstorm last year or whatever, or year before last. Anyway, that they were writing it under deductible. And it would be, the deductible would be $500. They'd write it for $4 something, and then the actual estimate on it would be $7,000. It's like, what the heck?
Yeah, well, they just know the people's going to cash out. A lot of them are going to cash out, so they try to just give them a little bit of money, make their eyes get big, and they don't have to worry about their.
But you ain't going to make it when it's under your deductible. You ain't going to get nothing. Yeah. Then they're going to cancel the claim.
Yeah, that's downright ridiculous.
Yeah, it's sad.
We had 2 idiots down here.
Yeah, I was like, well, this estimate just says, yep, the car's got hail. Send it to the shop. Let them do the supplement.
Yeah, there you go.
A lot because we've got the time for that.
Yeah. Like, how do y'all expect us to actually fix these bastards when we're taking care of all your mistakes?
I know. So, yeah. So there will be more conversations about hail preparedness, but the worst part is no 2 storms are the same. I mean,
nope.
The storm in March, we had a tornado in March. We don't get tornadoes in March here. That's really unusual. It was a nice, warm, sunny day, and the next day it snowed hard. And so all these people are out there trying to help pick up after the tornado, and it snowed, and it's like, what the hell? And so a lot of people, that storm was weird because a lot of people are like, I'm trying to handle my house first before I do anything with the damn car.
Well, yeah.
The car's drivable. Yep. And so that one carried us through. I mean, we had the body shops bringing us stuff, but I mean, that one carried us through until the June storm, and we weren't even done with it when the June storm hit. And we're like, oh my God, so here we come again. And that one, we handled it quick. It was light hail. So that one was quick. And then, here comes, I don't know, next month. I don't know. Maybe
it just all runs together.
Because I'm like, oh my God. And I remember being at our house and it was nice and sunny and I could hear thunder off to the north. And I'm like, so when that storm hit in March, we could hear the tornado coming 10 minutes beforehand. And it sounded just like a long peal of thunder. And so I'm like, is that thunder? You know?
Yeah.
So I message our employee, he's in at CarMax, and I'm like, is it storming there? And he's like, yeah, you know, it's coming down pretty good. And I'm like, it's sunny here. I mean, it's not even 10 miles away. And then he's like, yeah, but no hail. And a little while later, he calls me. He's like, yeah, we got hail. I'm like, oh, awesome. He's like, yeah, but it wasn't very big here. And I'm like, and then I start getting the pictures from the body shop, and I'm like, but it was elsewhere.
Yes.
When you brought up the storm where, you know, a lot of devastation and stuff, and kind of like you don't really want to advertise when that's happening. Like you feel bad about it. You don't want to monetize off other people's devastation.
Yeah.
So that's a hard one to, you know, kind of maneuver.
Yeah. A body shop we used to work with, like, immediately posted, well, we got more hail. And I'm like, yeah, 5 people just died in your town, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
It's not all about your damn hail and making your money.
Right.
I mean, it made him look like an asshole. So, well, he is, but
there you go. He's a listener of the show.
I doubt it. Even if he is, hey.
Yeah, right. I'm sure you don't mind.
We thought you just meant an asshole was the listener of the show. We got a bunch of them.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Oh goodness.
Well, we made it.
We're
40 minutes in.
Oh geez. Okay, we got off.
So let's move.
I love
move into
personal life.
You know, personal life. Married, how many kids? You know, what y'all like to do outside of the PDR world, so everybody else can kind of get to know you a little bit better.
Well, Ron is my husband, Ron Christensen. We met in 2007, 6 or 7, I don't know. Got married in 2008. Had our first kid. I was 38 when I had our first kid, and
wow.
Then you know, we're done, and here rolls around 42, and I have another kid, and I was like, good God, what am I doing? I'm gonna be so old when this kid graduates high school. So
it could be worse. My dad was 55 or 60. Yeah, he had his last one at 60 years old. So
oh wow.
Yeah, it could always be worse.
When it's the mom, you know. I got asked several times, and I would get so pissed, but I was always so polite to the people when they said it. And behind their back, I'm like, like, is that your grandson? I'm like, no, bitch, it's my kid. You know? And I'm like, when are you due? Come on. It's like asking when she's due. It's like, come on. Don't ask that. So I'm like, I'm coloring my hair. I'm coloring the gray, man. I'm not growing it out until at least the last one's in high school. I'm like, nope, not doing it.
Right.
He'll be all white by then. He might make it all white. But so now they're 9 and almost 13. We have a small farm. We live right next door to my in-laws. So together our little acreage is 40 acres. Our little part, we've got a horse, a donkey, 2 little goats, 2 sheep, 17 chickens, 3 dogs, and a tortoise. So we like animals.
Hey, the chickens are handy right now with the egg prices.
They are. I guess in California they're $7. So
that's crazy.
In parts, I guess. But yeah. So yeah, they're fun though. I love our animals, and it's kind of my thing to go out and take care of them, and I try to get the boys involved and get them. Neither one of them's really into horses, and I mean the youngest, he likes them. He loves the donkey, loves him. I'm like, he never liked kids until I had kids, and he's like, well, I like your kids. But, yeah, so they're fun. They come out and help me sometimes, or they'll go collect eggs and run for the rooster.
Your boys are awesome too. I always like it on our 20 group Zoom calls. They always make sure to make a guest appearance.
I know, yeah.
You automatically, you just see everybody waving. It's like, all right, whose kid's on the camera?
I know, a dog or a kid, or a cat. But Yeah, so I think they're playing Uno right now. That was their plan. Ron was working on a bedside, so I don't know if he's in yet. But
nice. Jay said his girls would love to be in farm heaven.
Yeah,
we had a bunch of chickens and horses and goats, and neighbors had cows. We had to help with that, but I'm just like them. We had a mean rooster. I'm talking about he'd chase you around, and then you're slipping and sliding on chicken shit everywhere. It's like,
I don't know. Ours is still young, and I'm just like, the first time he came after me, I just turned around, went right back after him, and I had him up against the fence, and I'm hovering over him. I'm like, "You want to take me on?" He's like, and
the best thing was when we finally moved, we had to kill all the chickens.
Oh, snap.
He was the first to get his head cut off and run around.
Come here, bitch.
Yeah.
Come on.
When we were still dating, my husband pulled up. I had a few chickens. A friend of mine gave me 6 chickens, and I think 4 of them ended up being roosters. And so, yeah, they're bigger assholes when there's more of them. But this one, he would come after me with that spur. And I was carrying a bag of grain over my shoulder, and he came after me. I heard him coming. I'm like, damn it. And he got me right on the back of my leg, and he ripped my jeans, and I turned around and I tried to throw a 50-pound bag of grain, which didn't go very far. And I'm like, that's it. And I go stomping back to the house, and I grab my rifle. I come back and I shoot him. And it's Valentine's Day. And my husband pulls up, and I'm walking up with a dead rooster and my rifle. And he was like,
that's awesome.
I'm like, you better have brought something good. He's like, I brought chocolate. I'm like, you're all right then. So, yeah. That rooster. Oh, that was the long fuse, and then I let her rip.
Right. So, have y'all seen the videos of the roosters? They put like cartoon arms on it, like they're wielding knives and shit like that. It's the best thing in the world.
Yeah,
I love it.
All of our chickens have names. Like, I know which one's which, what color eggs they lay.
Really?
Yeah, they're.
Goodness.
How much time does taking care of all the animals take up for you in a day?
Probably an hour. Probably at least an hour in the morning, and I've got it pared down to where I do most of my stuff in the morning, and then in the evening it's just run out and throw hay to the horses and check on everybody, lock the chickens in, gather the eggs. So the boys are gonna help. I was sick right after Christmas, and I was like, man, I feel like crap. And I'm like, boys, will you feed for me? And they're like, we don't know what to do. I'm like, I'll write it down. And the youngest still has it in his coat pocket. Like, Mom, when you go to Florida, I know what to do. I'm like, okay. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you're coming to MTE. Speaking of, that's exciting.
As long as the whole airplane thing works out, I'm not driving. So.
Yeah, no. Brandon's the only one driving in this group.
Yeah, it's a little too far from Iowa, so I can't take that much time.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, it's fine driving to it. It's driving back. That's like with anything. I love driving. I don't care anyway. But when you're always having to come back from something, vacation, whatever it is, that's what sucks because work's the next day.
Especially MTE, you've stayed up late on your feet for like 24 hours for a week. It's like, oh god, I gotta drive back after that.
My back that Saturday night after we got back from dinner, I stood down at the bar area with everybody for as long as I could, and then they were gonna do the drunk tool review thing when they shut the bar down. And I'm standing up there, and it was hurting me so bad. I'm like, let's see if I can find everybody. And I just passed everybody, went straight to the room. I'm like, screw it. I'm going to the room because I can't handle this right now.
I went to bed at 9 o'clock that night. I had an early flight. I was like, nope, I'm out. But no, I'm glad too.
My second MTE. I've only been to one. And I can't even. Connor was young, very young. And, he's 9 now, so it's been a while.
Yeah, so, I'm glad you're coming not only for MTE alone, but we're having our in-person meetup, and I always enjoy that. That's another brain in the room to help us get through some shit. So
Yeah.
I love it. It's a big
Yep.
brain too, so that helps out a lot.
The big brain.
Big brain.
with all of us bumbling idiots in there, Yeah. It'll be,
What's funny is
I'm excited.
My husband thinks I'm the bumbling idiot, so and I have to admit that he has reason to believe that. So there are times.
It's amazing that we get through those in-person meetups like we do, because we're all alphas and want to talk and this and that. It's like, how do we even complete what our task was for the day? Like, we sat here and talked the whole time.
It's like herding a bunch of alpha wolves,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we make it happen. It's always
we must have an omega in there somewhere, keeping them all in check.
I can't even think of who that would be either. Like,
Must be Gene.
Yeah, I feel like Gene's an alpha.
Between Gene and Melissa, they make an omega, I think. So
I think so too. I think you're right.
Yeah,
they've done a great job. I'm glad. I didn't know who you was before I got in the 20 group, and we've met and known each other for years. Yeah, so it's been awesome. I love it.
I think the first time I talked to him, I knew who he was. The first MTA I went to, he was a speaker, and so I was talking to Ryan Hampton's mom, and she's like, "Can I get Gene on the call?" And I'm like, "Gene Fetty?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay." And I was like, I'm going to be on the phone with Gene Fetty. I was kind of fangirling it. I was like, ooh. And then he's like, "Hey, can I call you later?" I'm like, uh-huh. I was like, it's funny because, we're all just people. But I was just like,
I'm a firm fanboy. Like, when I started in the industry and stuff, in my first MTE, and then talking to Gene on the phone, like, he called me while he was doing hell about the 20 group, and I was like, absolutely, like, I'm not going to tell Gene Fetty no, like, I don't care what you say.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. It was funny this summer. Shane came out, and we were having we usually have tech dinners during hailstorms, but we had Shane out, and the guy that we were helping get set up in South Dakota, he was totally fanboying Shane. He was like, "I just wanted to go rub his head." And be like, "Oh my God, I'm here with Shane Jacks. He's like podcast famous." So
we were in Anson. I rode over from the hotel to the Anson with Gene, and then Keith Constantino hopped in too. I was like, never thought I'd be in a car with Gene Fetty and Keith Constantino, like, totally fanboy.
Yeah.
I made it, Mama. I made it.
That's like that. I was like going to dinner that Saturday night at MT last year, and we'd gotten down there. We take that big group picture, with Kevin and all that, and then Jack was, let's go or whatever. So I found Don up there at Kavanaugh, and I was like, "Oh, you going too?" He's like, "Yeah." We were like, "Where are we going to ride?" Mike and Mary were like, "Come on." Like,
yes.
Ride with Mike Toledo. And then on the way back, he's like, "Can you drive?" I'm like, "Shit, yeah, I can drive you back. Come on."
I'm chauffeur Mike Toledo.
It's like goofy,
I know.
Anyway, it's because like you said, we're all the same. It's just when you see them for so many years and stuff, and you haven't met them in person, it's like,
yeah.
Well, just the respect alone and the appreciation for what they've done for the industry is, I don't think it's necessarily fanning out. It's just, you got to, the utmost respect for them and the appreciation for them for all they've done for our industry. So that's kind of what I feel like.
Yeah. When we were down in Texas last year, we're on a break, and I'm sitting in the kitchen talking to a couple guys, and Gene and Keith walks in, and I didn't know who he was. I was like, I didn't know, from then he started talking, and I'm like, he sounds familiar. And I'm like, holy
wait a minute.
I'm like, that's Keith Constantino. I was like, wow, and he's talking to me. So I'm like, I better try to sound smart.
And then you see Keith and Shane in person, and it's like the Hulk, and it's like so freaking big.
Both of them now, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
They're
now
super
Jim
fit,
Mitchell.
like,
I mean, good grief, they're
yeah.
all freaking huge.
Yeah.
but-
I'm like, oh, I feel super flabby now. Thank you.
Oh, I'm fat. And I know it. Me and Brandon were talking before the show. He's like, I gotta get back in shape before I start doing social media videos. Like, man, I'm fat and I embrace the shit out of it. I don't even care anymore. Like, let's go.
Grow a beard and nobody will know.
Yeah. We're
done
baggy
it,
clothes.
but yeah. No, I mean, I can even tell my face has gotten fatter since I quit doing the 75 hard challenge and stuff, and I'm like gaining water back. It's just anyway.
I think men
That's a
get
totally different subject.
yeah. Men get heavy though, right here. Like at a certain age, it's like it's like, what happened to your face, man?
Quit trying to make him
I
feel
lost
better.
it. Like I lost it. I even lost that chin that's right here, and now it's like
Do that.
like coming back. Oh, if I go.
Or somebody screenshot it, I spoke over like this.
Yeah, they probably are. So what are there certain things y'all like to do together as a family? Like y'all go on vacations any particular place, travel or anything like that?
Well, we haven't done a lot of vacations. We did go to South Dakota a few years ago, went and saw Mount Rushmore and just, went and just kind of winged it. We saw some really cool stuff and the boys had a blast. I think that was 2 years ago. And then last year we didn't make it anywhere. It was just, we had just little hailstorm after little hailstorm and just couldn't make it anywhere. And this year we went to Scottsdale for the meeting. That was a blast. And we drove out there. We drove because we're making this our vacation that we can write off,
It's a write-off.
So went out there, saw a friend of mine from college I hadn't seen since I was pregnant with Connor. So I was like, I saw a guy that I bought a horse from and I've stayed in touch with him. And we were going through Colorado and I call him up. I'm like, hey, guess where I am? He's like, where? And I'm like, we're 30 miles out of La Junta. And he's like, no way. Are you stopping? I'm like, well, if you're there, yeah. So, stopped and saw him. And there were some pretty fun adventures on that trip. Discovered they have tarantulas in southeast Colorado. So I'm like, what's going across the highway? And he's like, what do you mean? How big? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like that big. And he was like, what the hell are those? And I start Googling. I'm like, oh my God, those are tarantulas. So yeah, that we took 39 miles of primitive road. Do not trust that lady on the GPS. So yeah, I had to replace my front shocks on the Tahoe that trip. So it was rough.
Goodness.
Yeah, it was funny. See, the first people we saw, they had their window down like, are these people lost? They're going to ask us where they are. And we just wave. We're like, no, we're dumbasses from Iowa. Taking 39 miles of, who knows how many meth labs we just drove by. So,
Josh, we'll miss you at MTE too, brother. You should still come. Just because you ain't in the industry no more don't mean you can't come. And then Matt Armillo said all his vacations are write-offs.
Exactly.
He just carries a Get a Grip umbrella with him.
Yeah.
Promos.
So Ron wanted to get a camper last year, and a friend of mine was selling one. And I'm like, bring it and we'll take a look. And I ended up buying it. It was not much, but then we started housing the techs in it. I'm like, why don't you guys just stay in the camper? And they're like, that's awesome.
Brandon did that for me. I love the shit out of it. I was like, hell yeah.
So then after this year, the accountant is like, you need to spend some money. I'm like, can we buy a camper? She's like, yep. I'm like, cool. So we bought a new camper. The techs are very excited for the next hailstorm so they can stay in it. We did have one come stay in it for one night, but then we had a storm coming in, so we went home. But no water right now. It was a little cold, but yeah, it warms up, but it was pretty cool. So we're looking forward to maybe doing some camping.
That'd be awesome.
Camping.
So, yeah. And Ron thinks it's a good excuse to look for a new truck.
Oh yeah, of course.
So,
Gotta have a truck.
Bookkeeper says no. He keeps saying yes, especially when you go to dealerships and they're like, "Oh, check out this new truck we got."
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's $420,000.
Yeah, seems like it.
Oh,
So yeah, and I like
So
to
what,
ride so.
So what kind of horse riding did you do? Did you do any competitions, or was it
I used
barrel
to.
racing, or just?
Well, I
Okay.
grew up doing pretty much everything. Then I did eventing where you do dressage, cross country, and stadium jumping. So you do all of it. And the cross country scared the shit out of me. But it was fun. I mean, it was fun, but it was adrenaline rush, that's for sure. And but I was showing dressage when we met, and he went to a couple shows with me, and he's like, "So how much money do you spend on this? And you don't win any money?" I was like, "Why am I doing this?" I'm like, "This is I'm stressing myself out. I'm spending all kinds of money." And I'm like, "Why? To get a ribbon and a piece of paper. Woo."
Ooh.
You know, so I'm like, and I did some show management and stuff, but I was like, I just want to trail ride. So I have a fat little quarter horse, barely over the size of a pony. I'm barely over the size of a pony myself. So,
Come on now.
so I just ride him for fun.
Yeah, there you go.
And the donkey's just there for fun. He gives good hugs.
Good hugs. What's the donkey's name?
Thunder.
Thunder. What's the horse's
Thunder.
name?
Scout.
Scout and Thunder.
Yeah. Scout and Thunder. If I was thinking when I named Scout, I should have named him Lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Thunder and
Yeah.
Lightning. But I wasn't thinking. Because
Oh, wow.
every time Thunder rolls, I'm like, rolling thunder. And he sits like so.
That's hilarious.
They're fun.
Oh goodness.
This has been everything I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I know. I've been telling Brad, so we gotta get a man on. Like it'll be awesome, dude.
Yeah, we got a list of people, and
I finally made a list and shared it
it
with
was-
Brad. I was
it
like,
was-
we gotta do something
Robert-
besides fly by the seat of our ass every week. Like, who we gonna have on? I don't know. Who you want? I don't know. It's like shit.
oh, like the old Jungle Book movie. What we gonna do today? I don't know. Hey, no, don't start that again. The dodo birds or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he had Roberts because we wanted to get him on because we just had big zones with all that, and then your name was the next one, and then
Thanks.
we've got several other. We got
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, it's been fun. Well, we have passed the hour mark now, so
My
we made
husband's already texting me. How long is it going to be? The boys are hungry.
Tell him to chill out. Tell him Andy said chill out. Just chill out now.
He does a lot of
Oh,
cooking.
goodness.
I'm like, just start it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, yeah, we
Pop Tarts and cereal. It is.
yeah, right. Nothing wrong with that, everyone.
Salmon.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
And, looking forward to MCE and finally getting to meet you. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the whole 20 group meetup.
Oh, you will be
thing.
blown
And,
away, dude.
It is.
And I'm going to be the one sitting there taking it all in. So
You're going to be
Every
like, wow.
yeah, after every
Yeah.
20 group, you
Yeah.
just come back re-energized, like in-person meetups. Like it's a whole
You do.
other level after you come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
I'm excited.
So I'm thrilled to be making, I'll be making 3 in a row anyway. So pretty happy.
Yeah, I've missed one so far. And that was Dan's. That's when we bought the shop.
Yeah.
There was no way around it. I was like, God dang it. But yeah, I've made all the other ones.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
When I'm dealing with a hailstorm, I'm not leaving. I think that's
Absolutely.
why Pittsburgh last year. I was like, I can't.
You missed Uncle Knuckle.
I missed something. I'm so sad about that.
I don't even think I've heard the actual story on that.
Oh,
so
it's interesting. There's photos and everything.
I figured Uncle Knuckle.
Gina Melissa's kids call me Uncle Knuckle now. Hey, Uncle Knuckle.
You may have told me. I don't recollect. It just doesn't
Just think
ring a
about the
bell.
foot
But
of a
anyway.
camel. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
I had to settle an argument with Anthony Costanzo, and he was so hell-bent on something, so I had to demonstrate and be like, no, you're wrong. And he admitted he was wrong afterwards. That's all it took. And then I surprised Jack when he walked out of the bathroom. We should walk out.
I know Amanda's like, in that one picture, it's like his face is right there. Like he's like,
God.
That was a fun trip.
Quit drinking.
Yeah. Now, that didn't top it off for me. I still had to go to the hibachi and flip spatulas.
I remember that. Yeah.
At least it was just spatulas, Andy.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I was trying to get them to give me an egg. I wanted to crack the egg on the spatula, but they wasn't having it. I don't know why. Like, made sense to me at the time.
Oh, get white boy out of here.
Yeah. Oh.
Now he's got his old Blackstone he can practice.
Yeah. I ain't thought about doing that since that night. It's strange how that works.
Was that sake bombs?
No, that was Billy Wong's Crown and Cokes. It's AKA All Crown.
Billy Wong.
Crown with the spritz of Coke.
That's awesome.
We got it's a little Japanese restaurant called Ichiro, and the owner's Billy Wong. He said, you can't go wrong with Billy Wong. Every time you walk in, I'm like, oh, here we go.
That's the next shirt that I'm gonna make up just for you. Don't drink Billy Wong's Crown and Coke.
You will go wrong with Billy Wong. Just put that on there.
You will go wrong with Billy Wong. Don't trust the
that
Jack
sounds
and
bad,
Coke.
though. Don't say it that way.
He said, I can live out my own hibachi dream.
Goodness. Well, again, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
Ron will be happy that you're getting off and going to cook the kids' dinner.
Yeah. Go back to being the housewife, right?
And go back to being the housewife.
Till tomorrow morning when you got to be the farmer and then you got to run the shop.
Hey, at least I'm not the groundskeeper at the moment. You know, it's winter. So.
Yeah, got that going for you.
Last year I had a hernia, so I was groundkeeper in the wintertime too. So I had to do all the plowing and stuff. I was like, good God, I need to get this surgery fast. So, yeah.
Yeah, that surgery sucks.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, yeah, thank you again, Amanda. It was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I'll hop out and then you can do your little recap.
All righty.
Yeah, we're gonna do a recap. We're gonna change things up a little bit. So
I'll have to get on Facebook so I can see what you say about me.
Like, God, thank God that was over. Shoot, that was a rough one.
Man, she talks a lot.
Oh goodness.
All right, guys. See you in Florida. I hope I see you guys that are watching too.
Oh yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Recap.
So yeah, we're kind of changing things up. So everybody's still watching. We appreciate everybody watching, comment, and everything else. So we wanted to kind of get off here and let's kind of do a recap. So yeah, it was a great show. The whole point of our shows is a lot of people we've had on. Well, several that we've had on. I wouldn't say a lot, but several have been on other shows. But a lot of the shows are more about the business and stuff like that. So thought it was a good time for me to get to know her, everybody else get to know her. And yeah, very, very smart. And but hopefully at some point get to meet Ron too.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting.
Oh yeah.
So we had a lot of Facebook users tonight. I know one of them was Shane. I think the last one was Ted.
Thanks for hopping on, Shane. We were talking. If Shane, I don't know if you're still on. We're talking. What plan we'd like to do. We'll talk a little bit more about it. MTE, maybe getting you and Keith on to kind of talk about how you guys came up with PDR College and how all that got started. I think that'd be a cool story to get with. So maybe we can make that happen.
More of a personal type thing, and like our normal show is, but yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing is look, anybody watching that's gonna go back and watch this, if anybody has an issue with any of our shows, with any comments made by us, by people typing stuff out, any of our sponsors, anything like that. Look, me and Andy are open books. You can come to us. You don't have to go to anybody else to try and be a third party,
to persuade us, because guess what? We ain't gonna do it anyway.
Hey, we saw this may not be in the best interest. Go ahead and talk to us, because I promise you, if you think it ain't in the best interest or whatever the heck it is, it definitely ain't to us. So again, we're great guys, and we're open books about everything. So if anybody has an issue with anything, just come to us about it.
Yep. We will.
Other than that, hey, I loved it. Loved the show. We appreciate everybody watching, staying on here with us. We've still got several people.
Yep.
Watching here, but
Tad's on. Tad got his old
yeah
rock fired up that he wanted.
He was the last one that said goodnight, y'all. And
okay.
I thought I've got it on the PDR interviews on my phone so I could see who all was Facebook users. But anyway, it was a fun night. And
yeah, well, definitely. We've had some bangers here lately.
Yeah. And I don't know just yet who we're going to have on next week, but we'll let y'all know here very soon.
Absolutely.
We got a list.
And then after that, then we'll be the following week. We will be already at MTE that Wednesday, so we won't be doing a show unless we do something down there.
Well, we won't that Wednesday.
No, we'll be probably out.
But we'll do something on. Yeah, they'll have Radio Row again this year. So at some point, don't know, Friday or Saturday. Probably Saturday, I would think, because we got the tag team Friday.
Yeah. Y'all
or we
do
Friday morning.
Telling y'all, tag team, you're going to want to be over at our when we go. We'll let you know time next week that we're going. You're going to want to be there for it. It'll be hilarious.
So Friday, just reminder: Friday tag teams are all the ones who are trying to get the entertainment award.
Yeah,
and the entertainment awards, I think Kevin said it was going to be that night.
Like I think he said
Friday night. So participation from guests and all that, or who's supposed to be voting this year. Yeah, because if it was like that last year, we would have won, not the Golden Girls. Thanks again for watching another episode of Ginger Bros Dent Show. Don't forget to like.
What?
I accidentally hit it.
I was like, yeah, you're going to end on that, not the Golden Girls.
I like, take the mouse down. Anyway, it hit it. But with that, I'm out of here.
Everybody.
See y'all. Thanks again for watching another episode of Ginger Bros Dent Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And for all past episodes, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or Podbean. Keep pushing. Make that money. See you next week.